What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another stream for you guys. A last-minute stream, a breaking news stream, as Nuno Espirito Santo is facing the sack, apparently. There's been a lot of reliable sources talking about it, and also a lot of ITKs as well are all very much aligned in saying that he is going to be sacked, or he has been sacked already. It just hasn't been made known yet. And actually, we've just got a update from Fabrizio Romano on it, and let me read it out to you. And it says, talks ongoing between Levy and Paratici and the whole Tottenham board to decide on Nuno's future under discussion. He could be sacked, but no decision made yet. It's going to take some hours. So, I mean, when you're hearing stuff like that, I mean, I think the writing is on the wall now for Nuno. In terms of who we can bring in as replacements, Sergio Conceição, his name has been bandied about. Fonseca's name has been bandied about. Antonio Conte's name has been bandied about, but I wouldn't take that one too seriously. But in terms of the two names I just mentioned in Conceição and Fonseca, if he had anything about him, he wouldn't join Spurs, seeing as he was completely disrespected by Spurs the last time we were in for him in the summer. And Sergio Conceição, the current Porto manager, I mean, I imagine it would take some sort of figure to prize him out of the Porto job as well. So we'll have to see how that one. But I'm sure Conceição would see Tottenham as a step up from the Portuguese league. I would imagine that. But what I'm hearing and what the ITKs are saying is that Ryan Mason will be interim for the next two games at least, and potentially up until Christmas as well. Up until Christmas. This club is a circus. This club is an absolute circus, and I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't know where to go anymore. I don't even know where to put my head anymore. But Brian, please take the reins, man.
Oh, what can I say, mate? I mean, first of all, with the Fonseca, as I've said on to you as well, only Tottenham can go in for their own sloppy seconds. It's like literally, I don't know a football team that does this. People that think it's Conte, you're falling for it again because it's been up in the air. So you can start going, oh, he's coming, Conte's coming. But since Conte's been linked, all those managers you've been saying, and literally we've just gone down to get a sandwich, and by the time we've gone down and up, we've been told that it's going to be Mason for 2 games, and then Mason till Christmas. Yeah. This team can't do anything, and I mean anything. Right, like I've said, the only thing and only person I believe in the whole club is the guy that reads out the team sheet, because it's there in front of him and he can't get it wrong. Yeah. It is absolutely pathetic. And when he says this could take hours, that means in Daniel Levy land this could take 72 days to get this meeting done. Listen, we are, honestly, just when you think we can't be more embarrassed as a football club and as supporters, and where things just cannot get worse than where we are, literally by the time we've done Good Morning Tottenham to where we are right now, it's happened again.
Yeah, and while you were talking just there, we had a few comments about Brian Daigle for manager. Another one saying Daigle in. So you up for the job?
Oh, mate, if it got me into a boardroom with Daniel Levy, I am more than up for the job. I am more than up for the job. Listen, Joseph, this is... I don't know where... Like you said, we don't know where to put your head. You don't know... There's no smoke without fire with this... I think he's personally gone already. I think it's done. But now... I mean,
all these reliable ITKs who supposedly are reliable are saying that it already has been done, but Romano obviously is saying stuff to the contrary.
So this is what Tottenham is, isn't it? This is what we do. But again, if we do it... So we've got Vitesse Thursday, so we've got a huge game against Everton, which will now be even bigger on Sunday against Everton. And we don't even know if we've got a manager coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like you said, if it's Ryan Mason, here we go again. Like you say, that means Harry Winks is back in the squad.
Yeah.
That means our defence, God knows what will happen to it. We will be an even bigger shambles. And like I said earlier on, I don't want Mason to get it. And not because I think he's going to screw it up, but I don't want him to have his career blotted by these 2 spells, potential spells, with us, because we are a disgrace. We are a disgrace.
A lot of people in the comments talking about Scott Parker. Is he someone that you would realistically have at Spurs?
Do you know what? He played good football for them. And obviously, there's the Tottenham link. So
and look how he's doing this season. with Bournemouth top of the league, flying at the moment.
Yep, no, they are. They are. Listen, I see Scott Parker potential as a future Spurs manager. I just can't see how you can go from leaving us at the youth where he's doing really well, Fulham, get relegated, go to Bournemouth, top of the league now, and they go, okay, you're good enough for Tottenham. And that just shows, and this isn't against the supporters in the chat, this shows how far Tottenham Hotspur have fallen down.
It did feel last night, being at the game, both of us were there sitting next to each other. It did feel like, there was something in the air last night, didn't it? It did feel like that. Yeah,
I mean, I think this whole thing has kick-started. Forget the results and how we've been playing. The straw that broke the camel's back was the moral substitution. And the reaction. I think he really realised, there's problems here. I need to get out. And I think this is why this has happened. If that substitution didn't happen, I don't think we're having this conversation.
Wow, that's crazy. Are you talking about the actual action of the substitution itself, or the reaction from the fans? That's what you're talking about, yeah.
The reaction from the fans, I think, literally was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, here we go. Because you would have thought he would have done it after 4 London derbies, and the no shots on targets, and every other stat that we've been terrible at, like 20th in running position, like those stupid stats that have come out. That's when you
I think it's 19th in goals, 18th in goals scored, or 19th in goals scored, 19th in shots on target, and also in distance covered as well.
Yep. I think we're 20th in that. But that's because we haven't been playing Dele Alli, who runs around, and that's what he does. But yeah, that's when you pull the trigger, and I think that reaction and then what followed after it has been like, right, we got to do something here, and I personally think it's done.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. And just to let you know, like, the validation of all these stories is, they're coming out from reliable sources in terms of, obviously, Fabrizio Romano, who I just said, Dan Kilpatrick, Gary Jacobs, The Athletic, Sammy Mockbell. You know what I mean? They're all kind of in sync with each other, all pretty much saying the same thing. So when this does come out, when it comes out like this, in this way, I think it always just turns out one way, doesn't it?
Yep. And has Ali Gold said anything yet?
Not yet, no.
He's okay.
Probably away.
That's a good point. It always has. He's probably on holiday with Simeon. But yeah, it's right on the wall, because this literally has blown up and spread like wildfire in the last hour maximum, and it's gone crazy. And yeah, it's sad times. It's sad times. And like I said, there used to be a football club in N17. Now there's an entertainment complex.
Well, the famous words of Keith Birkinshaw said that a long time ago, didn't he?
Yep. And this is where we've got to.
It's funny, I just went on Alistair Gold's Twitter just to see if he has said anything, and 21 hours ago, his tweet is, Alistair Gold is on holiday and can't come to the phone right now. The lucky chap also hasn't watched a single minute of Tottenham Hotspur in the past week. Please leave all your Spurs-related messages to Rob Guesty after the beep. And we all know what happens when Alistair Gold goes on holiday. We all know what happens. Something always happens in this football club.
Yep.
Major. When he goes on holiday.
Without a doubt. And as I say, the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall. It's just, like I said, I think it's a case of when they release it that it's done. I think it's done. It's just a case of when the Tottenham Hotspur release this statement.
Yeah, I mean, when do you think it will come?
I've got it'll be when we go off air.
Literally.
And we're back again. Here
the
we go.
minute I get back home from the studio, Nuno has been sacked.
Yeah, that would just be typical. But I honestly think it's going to come today. I think it's going to come today.
I got a feeling as well. But look, this is a call-in show for you guys to have your say. Link is in the community section, open for members right now. So if you want to come on and have your say, go to the community section, click that link and come and join us. I want to know all your opinions on this apparent Nuno news. I mean, it does look very, very real right now. I want to know who you want in replacement, and I want to know your reaction as well. I mean, nothing's been confirmed by any reliable sources, but I do think it will be Ryan Mason, probably as interim for the next couple of days. Nothing's official, but we will see. But we've got Wes the King in the back end. Let's bring him on. I saw him shaking his head as we were talking.
Yep.
And I think you are feeling just how we're all feeling, Wes. But talk to me about your thoughts.
This was bound to happen. It's bound to happen when we first heard he was going to be our manager back in the summer. The board doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Like right now, you got Fabrizio and Romano. He's saying that they're still talking about what they're going to do. It said it's going to take hours. I'm like, what they got to talk about? Like we're not going to get. We're not going to get Conté. Like I'm sick of everybody saying, "Oh, we're about to get Conté." We're not going to get Conté. We're not going to spend the money that he's going to want to spend. We're not going to do it, especially not with Levy. And then Perisic probably wants to spend the money, but he got to go through Levy to even spend the money. So it's like, and then we're playing. Like the thing is, I didn't get to get on yesterday about the game post match about the game, but yesterday when he started freaking Davies.
Yeah.
That was it. He started Davies and left like, what? That dude should not even be on Tottenham Hotspur. He should not even be wearing our shirts. Dude is not good enough. Like he did, he didn't play good at all to me. But I'm like, and then he subs in Dele Alli. Like what? It's. I'm like, what is?
What about taking off Lucas Moura?
Like what? That dude was the only one going. It was him and freaking Højbjerg, the only ones actually trying. Like they were like he was the only one who looked like he can actually have the technical ability to dribble. Everybody else looked like so flimsy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my, it's like we're finished. We're so finished. We don't pretty much wrote off the whole season, but us about to sack Nuno. Like we pretty much wrote off the whole season. I expect us to probably finish around somewhere that 8 to 10 spot, most likely from where we're going. Harry Kane, you need to get the hell on. Just get off my pitch. Don't show your face no more. Just go do whatever team. You go take the easy way out, go win all the trophies you want to win the easy way with all the best players around you. Just go ahead and do that. And because he is done in my eyes because that dude is not even trying. Some of the runs that I keep saying this over and over every time I'm on here. Most of the runs he make, he's not even trying. They were throwing crosses in the box. They were. Like, Son was trying, and you see Son was frustrated with them, kind of. You saw Højbjerg. He's clearly frustrated. He just can't say it in an interview, but you could tell in the interview that he is frustrated with Kane. He really is. He's frustrated with them because he's not trying. The dude is not trying.
I think that many players are. I mean, at the Burnley game, you saw Højbjerg actually having a go at Harry Kane on the pitch.
Yeah.
So I mean, the tide is turning with Harry Kane. It definitely is.
And I'm like, he needs to wake up. At least before he got I'm sure he's probably going to try to get rid of him in January. At least for these last couple games that he's going to be in until Christmas, he needs to at least show that hey, he did at least love this club at one point in time. I'm sure it is all going to be in his heart in some form or fashion. But he needs to show that I still do love this club. Don't think I'm not going to he needs to show something. Don't go out like this. Because right now he's going out pretty unprofessional to me.
Well, Wes, the thing is as well, if this manager doesn't come in and be a better manager than Nuno, let's say we get an Eddie, how are they going to motivate Kane? He's going to get even worse. And not just him, it's got to the point now, like I said, where the players run the asylum. They will just see off managers. We need someone who is a very, very strong disciplinarian to come in and say, do you know what? This ain't happening anymore. It's my way. You are here to make me happy. I'm not here to make you happy. Who is your choice?
Ooh, oh, Lord.
It's slim pickings, isn't it?
But nobody wants to come here. My thing is, who wants to come to a club that acts like they have money? We act like we're like $1 billion club. We act like we got the stadium. It looks like we're one of the bigger clubs, right? But we don't really go about it like we're one of the bigger clubs. Like we don't spend the money. We don't try to go after the best players we can. We're not even doing half of what Arsenal's doing. Yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like, so who wants to come here? Who wants to be in the same situation Mourinho was in? Same situation now Nuno's in. You're going to be in the same situation. These players don't want to play for us, really. And it's like, once you get, for me, it's the players. If we don't get rid of these players first, we're not going to have a manager want to come into our situation. Nobody wants to come to the situation, really. And my thing is, I don't know who even want to come here. I'm trying to think out names. The only ones that we can go after is these small, meager managers that we shouldn't even be linked to. Like a Potter. Like, we're going to have to probably go for somebody like that because
Potter won't join us. Potter rejected us.
Yeah, exactly. Potter rejected us. And then I'm hearing names of Gallardo, whatever his name.
Gallardo, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's saying Gallardo. I'm like, I don't know why he would come here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what Pochettino maybe, but I'm not hoping he gets sacked from PSG. That's a good opportunity for him. Like, I don't wish him to get sacked so he can come to us in January. Like, that's just not going to happen. Then whoever does come in, it's going to take them the same amount of time to put their piece of the puzzle into the team and try to play their way. It's going to take even longer. Then you're going to go to another, pretty much a redo of what we were doing at the beginning of the season. And we're going to have to redo everything again and start from the ground zero again. And that's just going to have us play bad games for like the first 5 matches that whoever's going to be managing. And it's like, bruh. And then we got Ryan Mason going to come in, and I'm sorry. I know he's probably going to be decent manager maybe later on. Exactly. But right now, I did not like none of the stuff he did for the League Cup final at all. Did like none of the starters he did at all. So, like, we pretty much blew that whole, like, we could at least, if we should have kept Marino at least for that one game. That's what I hate that. I hated that because I think Marino probably could have won us at least one trophy. We at least had something to be happy about. But it's like everything that Levy is doing has been nothing but L. Nothing but L.
Yeah, completely agree. And I mean, like, you just know how it's going to play out, though, don't you? You know how it's going to play out. Nuno's going to get sacked in the next 24 hours. We're going to appoint Ryan Mason as our interim manager. And he's going to end up staying a lot longer than Levy and Paratici would have hoped. Yep.
Man, we're going to be in, like, bro, he's going to have us lose simple games. Like, it's like he doesn't. It's not like he's not technical. Like, he doesn't have no brain, but it's like he's pretty much a new experienced manager. He's inexperienced, so we're going to be losing games. We probably shouldn't even be losing because he's just not at that level to be coaching the dang Premier League side yet. He's just not. So we're going to be in an even worse situation when we get a new manager. We're just going to make it even harder to find a new manager because they're going to be thrown right in the middle, and we're going to be like 10th or 8th place. Hopefully not, but that's probably where we're going to be. Like, because this team is pretty much playing like a 12th place team right now.
Absolute facts, man. But Wes, always a pleasure to get your views. Sorry, it's I'm not going to say sorry. Daniel Levy needs to say sorry. You know what I mean?
We're all in this.
Wes, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Atlanta.
Okay, you're in America. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Like, the only thing I'm happy about, like, only thing that's helping me right now is that the Braves, our baseball team, is in the World Series. That's the only thing that's keeping me sane.
How are the Blue Jays doing? Because I've lost everything with Toronto.
I think they're pretty bad right now.
But pretty bad? That sounds about right.
Yeah. But right now, Braves in the World Series against the Astros, and we're one game away from winning it all. So that's the only thing that's keeping me sane through all this madness with Tottenham Hotspur.
And let me just leave you on this one. Yeah, Ryan Mason, who's probably going to be our interim manager for the next 2 games at least. He's being linked with the job for, you know who's being linked with at the moment? Charlton Athletic, who are on League 2. That's who he's been linked with.
You can sell this as a Hollywood movie.
He shouldn't be coaching the Premier League side. He shouldn't be. He is supposed to be. That's supposed to be where he's supposed to start off at. Realistically, that's where he's supposed to start off at. And we're trying to get him to manage a Premier League side. That's a side that's supposed to be one of the top 6 in the league. We are a mess. If we don't spend the money in January, Levy's going to have to, or we're going to have his behind. But if we don't do something in January transfer window, at least do something, at least try to put some type of positivity in, or at least stay in these cup tournaments, because that's the only thing I can see us getting out of this season. If we can somehow get through these cup tournaments and get to a final or something, that would be good in my eyes. But we're not gonna. I never thought we were gonna make top 4 anyway. So it's like it's unrealistic. If Levy really thought that this team could get to top 4 with him spending barely no money going after average 3rd or 4th list players that they have on their list, then he's out of his damn mind. That man is out of his damn mind.
I think we already know the guy's out of his damn mind.
Like, this man really think he can get this club to top forward the team we have right now. What?
Absolute circus, this football club. But Wes, always a pleasure speaking to you, my friend, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, Wes.
Hey, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. A few super chats to get through. Tommy Castillo says Kane has given up. He plays 90 minutes again and again. And what kind of message is that sending to others in the dressing room? I'd rather see Son up top. What do you say to that? Do you agree?
I mean, remember I started off with Scarlett.
Yeah.
So listen, something needs to be changed. Listen, if you have a bad player, whether he's your star player or not, and he's not playing well, he has to be dropped. Like I said, when Liverpool went and signed Jota, just that one player has freshened that whole. And look what they're doing this season. He needs to learn that you can't just do this. Whether we put him on the bench against Everton and then bring him on or whatever, but he needs to learn that, listen, what you're doing is unacceptable. We pay you handsomely. You are who you are. You've been able to take the plaudits all the time. Now a little bit of criticism's coming your way that you've created and the club. Deal with it. And I'd put Son up top immediately.
Daniel Carras says Poch couldn't, Jose couldn't. We have a squad of thieves, spoiled millionaires. Even Prime Fergie won't win a trophy with this squad.
Damn right. Well, like I said, honestly, we could get Pep and not this going to happen. We could get Klopp and Guardiola together, and nothing. I repeat, nothing will change because the parasites leading it, and it doesn't make a difference.
And Neil Shafton in the comments is mentioning Avram Grant. He's throwing Avram Grant's name into the mix.
Oh, please, God, no. please, God, no. Where is he now? Is he back home in Israel?
I'm not sure where he is, Avram Grant.
Please, no. Please, no. Honestly, at West Ham, he was okay. Or he got relegated, didn't he? Chelsea, he did well. But who wouldn't do well at Chelsea? And, yeah, just no. Why do we go for Chelsea sloppy seconds?
I don't know.
Mate, well, that's what we're becoming now. We are sloppy seconds.
It's been going on for years. I mean, he's not managing anyone at the moment.
Oh, good. So we won't have to pay a fee for him. There you go. Chuck his name in.
Will Stewart on the super chat as well. Big up, Will. He says Sim is looking extra handsome today.
Cheers. Good to see. Well, Will's gone missing recently, brother. It's good to see you. And I'm back next week, so we'll be in touch.
Yeah. Is there anyone in the back? There's no one in the back so far, so if you do want to call in, the link is in the community section right now. Come on and have your say, because I really want to hear your opinions on this absolute circus that is going on. I mean, when you just think that it just can't get worse, it always gets worse at Tottenham Hotspur. And it really is hard to take what is going on at our beloved football club. It really is.
So, Joe, I mean, obviously, this channel is the channel where I first came on and always have been the way I am with Levy Out.
One second. Someone says he's in the back. Can you see him? Aravind, if you want to go to community section and try connect again, because we can't see you on our end, and that might be for anyone else who's in the back end as well, because we can't see anyone there. So if you try reconnect, we'll get you on. But go on.
Yes, I was saying, I came on and I've always been staunch Levy Out, and I went mad on your 20-year.
You've always stuck to by your guns.
I've always stuck to this with it, and as you said, as it came to Super League, you're like, well, you clocked it. But then I try and break this down. Now, if you even just break it down from the Jose Mourinho sacking, the lie that a manager will be there by the end of the season, the lie that will be there before the start of the Euros, the lie that will be whatever, the Pochettino lie, the Conté lie, the manager debacle, hiring Nuno, the Paratici and not getting in Tomiyasu because we couldn't get him because he's at the Olympics, but no, wait a minute, let's sign Brian Hill, who's at the Olympics. The shocking football, the shocking results, and now this. And people still don't see what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me talking about from Jose Mourinho being sacked. Any other club, in any other football league, in any country, this wouldn't be acceptable. 100%. You have fans like Liverpool, and like when something's wrong, they march, they moan, and we just sit there. We just sit there, and we've seen some pictures on Twitter where people are doing blooming the blooming dances on the floor and just nonsense, and we accept it. And I can't take it anymore. And we shouldn't have to tolerate this nonsense anymore.
Year in, year out.
Year in, year... Mate, week in, week out.
Week in, week out.
Week in, week out from the manager, the board, the players. And it all comes, like I said, from the very top. And this whole thing with Nuno out now is just another example of that parasite.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you know when they say Alistair Gold always goes on holiday when something big breaks, I think this might be starting to be the case with Sim as well, because every time Sim's gone away now and something is about to imminently break. But Sim, enjoying your holiday, are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm enjoying it more since I've touched down, seeing the things about Nuno and everything. But yeah, I mean, look, the sun's out. I'm all right. It's nice and sunny over here, nice and warm in my t-shirt. I'm doing all right, but look, all this Nuno stuff is pretty crazy. I mean, I didn't expect to be touching down from a flight and then opening up Twitter and all of a sudden he's on the brink. It's like, whoa, okay, things act quickly. But you know what? I think this shows how little we really wanted him in the first place, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, if this was a different manager who was one of our first choices, even the record he's got, we probably would have given him more time. But clearly, this was an indication that we didn't really believe this guy was going to be the guy. It was always going to be short-termism, and I think the football's been turgid. We can all agree on that. I think all the circumstances he's been dealt with has led to very difficult. I think it's been a very difficult time for Nuno. I feel bad for him, but at the end of the day, I don't think he is the right fit for us. I just don't. I think he isn't going to be the guy who's going to get the best out of the players that we have, unfortunately. And I think he's got to take that into account. But I think that it just shows, again, this club, the way we're being run is an absolute joke.
Yeah, it is. And if the rumours are true, I mean, it seems as like they are, where do we go from here? I mean,
yeah,
Mason...
well, look, they're saying Mason till Christmas, Ryan Mason till Christmas, which is something, again, it's like, it's this Groundhog Day. Like, what, are we back in April again? It's like, we not learned our lessons, honestly. Again, we're going to have no plan lined up. Again, we're going to go into the wilderness shopping around here, there and everywhere for a manager to try and take us forward or take on the job. And, you know, after seeing a manager last 10 games and get the boot, look, he has lost half of them, but he also won half of them as well, whatever way you slice it. So they're going to, you know, who's going to want to risk their reputation taking this job? It has to be someone who's pretty desperate, unfortunately. Someone like Conté, Graham Potter, they're not going to want to do that right now. You know what I mean? They're not going to want to risk their reputation in a job where they've just seen a manager only last 10 games and get sacked. Literally just happened. So, you know, in the league, it's not like we're in a relegation battle. So, like, things are going bad, but they're not going so bad where you would say, like, results are, after 10 games, I think performances are probably sackable, but results are probably I would say they're on the brink, but I wouldn't say they're just not that.
Well,
sackable.
I mean, when you lose 4 London derbies the way we've lost them,
of course,
you know?
of course. No. Look, I think long term is probably going to benefit us. I think it's probably going to be the right decision, but it just goes to show the lack of foresight. They don't know what they're doing at the moment, what direction they want to go in, and also I think it shows the power of the fans a bit, because apparently what I'm hearing is there wasn't much talk of the sacking up until the visceral reaction from the supporters yesterday in the stadium, from his substitutions and from the football being played. And I think that is at the end of the day might be a big factor. So it shows how much influence fans can have within the stadium, but also goes to show how much of a knee-jerk this board is, again, because they're literally reacting to the supporters' frustrations, where you can say, okay, it shows supporters have influence, which is fine, but it's like a knee-jerk reaction from the board to all of a sudden just like, if they weren't thinking of sacking him, that shouldn't change their mind. That's not a professional way of doing things. You know what I mean? You can only change your mind because that you really fully 100% believe, you've looked at everything and fully believe the right way to go sacking him, not because the fans aren't happy. That's not a reason to do it.
I mean, what I'm hearing is that he was on the brink of the sack after those 3 losses in a row, Chelsea, Arsenal and Crystal Palace, and then he got those 2 wins that bought him a bit more time. And then obviously last night was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, look, and at the end of the day, our best players are the players in our forward line. That's where our strengths lie. The strengths lie in Kane, Son. As much as they haven't performed, in terms of quality, Ndombele, Lo Celso, Lucas, these are the players that we need to cater our team to. This is where our strength lies. Our strength isn't going to be.
And
having
Jose
the
knew
most
that,
solid
didn't he?
defense.
Jose knew that.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, I just think that we need to have a more possession-based manager who's able to get Kane and Son in as many goal-scoring positions as possible, and not limit as much as we have the amount of opportunities they're getting in the final third. So,
Ryan Mason?
Huh?
Ryan Mason?
No, he's not the right look. Mason will be a short-term stopgap again. I don't think he's going to be a long-term.
He's got a choice. He's got a choice between the Charlton job and the Spurs job.
Go to Charlton.
Yeah. Honestly, he's probably reputation to go to Charlton. He'll probably end up being known as a terrible manager if he stays at Tottenham for too long, probably. But I just think it's a very strong indication of the mess this club is in. That we've hired a manager after 75 days of looking for one, and with 10 games, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I think, do I agree or disagree with it? I don't know. I don't know whether I agree or disagree with it. I just think I feel bad for him, but the football has been terrible. It's been terrible.
Yeah.
What do you expect after 10 games and all the circumstances he's been had? So I think he has to do better with what he has, but I think he has to do better, but he also needs time. And I think 10 games probably isn't enough for me to say this guy's a terrible manager, but it maybe is enough to say that it's not the kind of direction we want to be going in.
I think Simeon's gone looking for Ronald Koeman.
Oh, is that where he is?
That's where he's gone. You've got a touting mission for Ronald Koeman.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him. I'm trying to see if there's any maybe Spanish-based managers in Malaga. Maybe there's someone here around.
Yeah, if you pick anyone up, Sim.
If they want to manage Spurs, maybe they're looking for a job. I don't know. They're going for our own version of the Tapas Tony Pulis. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I was just a bit shocked. So I think Levy's probably just wants to get the heat off him again. It's again a reaction to think, because what was the main chant yesterday? It wasn't boo it Nuno out, was it? Well, that's not what you heard around the stadium. It was Levy out. So what's he trying to do? He's trying to turn the attention away from him. So that's why you're here getting all this now. I think his timing is obvious.
Yeah,
Exactly.
completely agree. Completely agree. I mean, we've got away from this story, we've got a few people in the chat trying to guess where you are, Sim. Danny Kiriakou says that looks like Malaga. Some people saying Israel.
Danny Kiriakou's spot on. Absolutely spot on with his first guess. He knows his Spanish towns, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Bloody
he
hell,
does.
Danny, well played. Yeah, in Malaga, going to Granada tomorrow, then going to Seville to see Lamela on Tuesday. I should get a sign. What should
Bring
the
him
sign
back.
say?
Bring him back with Koeman.
Huh?
Bring Lamela back with Koeman.
Maybe I'll see if Lamela wants to be manager.
Oh, bad idea.
Honestly, he'll bring passion at least. He'll get a lot of bookings on the touchline.
All right, Sim. We'll speak to you soon. And yeah, we'll speak to you soon.
Nice one. Good luck, guys.
See you later, Sim.
Cheers, Sim. All right, that is obviously my brother out in Malaga right now. He also just doesn't know what is flying at this football club like the rest of us. I mean, what a joke this football club is. It really is. I'm going to keep saying it because I just can't get my head around it. I cannot get my head around it. And it's just actually made me think when we were talking about Mason until Christmas or whatever. Gallardo's contract ends in Christmas.
The conspiracy theories come out.
Gallardo's contract ends at Christmas. And it's widely reported that he does want to manage in Europe next. So
here you go. You're just stirring the pot here. I mean, I've heard his name mentioned. I can't confess to knowing a lot about him. I can't confess to knowing a lot about Argentinian football. But maybe we do need to try something new. Listen, Poch had only been at Espanyol before he came over. Argentinian managers, maybe that's a way with us because Portuguese ones definitely aren't working. This will be 0-3, which is normally our scoreline this year. So makes perfect sense. But yeah, I don't know enough about him to know to say I want him.
But what Simeon was saying about taking the attention, Daniel Levy taking the attention away from himself after those chants in the ground last night, spot on, isn't it?
1 billion% bang on the money.
Yeah.
This is what he is, a coward. He's a Do you see that during the NFL games, the first games, he was on the touchline, he was on the halfway line, giving out awards, Do you reckon he'd step foot on the Tottenham Hotspur pitch, like at half time, to give someone an award? Or of course he won't. He'll go into his box, have his prawn sandwiches, or if he keeps kosher, it won't be so much the prawn sandwiches. But he'll literally go in there, have his champagne or whatever, come out with his emotionless face, and literally just sit there and then think, oh, the tills are ringing. This guy does not care one single bit about the football club. He never has. He never will. And he said he's a Tottenham man. If you were chairman or I was chairman, when Spurs score a goal, I'm up there. He don't move. He does. He's about. He moves as much as our squad does on the pitch.
Yeah.
There's no emotion. He is completely deflected.
Yeah, completely agree. Super chat here from B Singh saying, Sim, 10 games have shown that Nuno is clueless. And look, it's hard to argue against that. It really is hard to argue against that because some of the decision making, not just the last night was a joke in itself, but it's a theme. It's been a theme this season so far with Nuno's decision making. It really has. In-game management. I'm not going to be sacked. I'm not going to be sad to see the back of him. I'm not, but it just shows what a joke and what a circus this football club is.
Exactly. That's it. I mean, Nuno came. This is what was going to happen, and it's now happened. But it'll be another manager because, like we always say, it's easier to sack one manager than it is to sack a squad or to sack a player.
But how many managers? How many managers?
What is that now? 16 managers.
Oh, in Enoch's tenure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. 16 in 20 years.
I mean, come on. That's like Watford.
16 to 20 years. Is that actually 16?
I don't actually know what the numbers are, but I think that's included like David Pleat, a caretaker and everything. So I don't know if it's official, but it's very close to that number, I'd say. And what can we do?
Yeah, what can we do? Maybe our next caller can give us shed some light into what we should do. Let's bring on Aravind, the analyst. Yes. Come on, Aravind. How you doing, my friend?
Not good. Not good.
Talk to me. Do you think that Nuno is going to be sacked in the next 24 hours?
Okay, I'll talk about Nuno first, but why is Daniel Levy furious? Isn't he the man who got him? Why is he furious? We need to be furious, not him.
Yep. Well, I believe I don't think Daniel Levy actually wanted Nuno. I think he was Fabio Paratici's man.
Okay, look, if that's the case, then what is this childish behavior? Then just agree or disagree to a common fact. If Paratici doesn't want him, and if Daniel Levy doesn't want him, and if it's a 9 choice, then I don't get how do these guys even select a manager? Oh, okay, fine. That's the only manager who wants to come. Let's just take him.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think they do pin the tail on the donkey.
Yeah,
and literally there's loads of managers' faces on the donkey, and whatever one. That's how we do it.
Iggy Ponky here, Nuno.
exactly, Arvind. That's how we do it.
Oh my goodness me! I can't. I think so. After another 10 more games, then we will be talking about the next manager who's going to come in.
Yeah, exactly.
And in 38 games, we'll be finishing 8th. But I just want to talk about something that's no one is going to. I know the reason why Daniel Levy doesn't give a shit about the decision is that I am pretty much sure that the Super League is not yet dead, and these guys are going to come back another 1 year or 2 years, because he knows that if he actually gives a shit about this club, he knows that with the teams which is investing in the top 4, it's nowhere near where we are in, and he also knows it. But he doesn't agree because he just thinks that we are all fools over here who doesn't understand the situation that the Premier League is being run. You know how Newcastle is coming with, who's going to come up in another few more years. You have Aston Villa who knows how to invest more than us. And I'm pretty sure on the rate we're going, another 5 to 6 years with how we are spending, we'll be playing the championship. And that's going to be the truth. And this is how it's been run. The decisions made it's a joke. It's such a joke. And talking about a team who has been performed so well with a shoestring of money, and he keeps on thinking that that's how it's going to be run. Wake up, or else please leave this club.
Yeah. Brian?
I mean, he's bang on the money. Everything Aravind has said is bang on the money. I just, like we said, it gets to the point now where we talk about this so often, you just don't know where to go next. And it's embarrassing. It is simply embarrassing and unacceptable that people worldwide, as Spurs fans, and there is a large international Spurs fan base. I know from being in North America just how big it is over there, and it's just embarrassing. I mean, the franchise, everything over there, yeah, they have their problems, but it's nothing to this extent, and it's just the same story just being replayed again and again and again. Like Aravind said, we'll just get another manager in. Let's say it's Mason till Christmas. By the time we get to Christmas and New Year, we could be at the Europa Cup. I wish we were in the Europa Cup, the conference. We could be at the Carabao. God knows where we could be in the league. And then he might pull the trigger on him. Because you've got to look at things the worst way and then hope for the best at the moment. And
if Dan Levy actually give a shit about this club, there's a manager who's sitting over there, Antonio Conte, and if he's been backed up with money, he would be joining us by another 2-3 hours. And I'm pretty sure the reason why Antonio Conte is not joining us totally tells about a club that this club is not going to invest. Daniel Levy doesn't give a shit about this club, and that's the reason why we are here. And that's why we're going for like Fonseca, because he's been sacked by Roma, who's again back over here. We're going for Porto manager because he knows he's going to get a good huge money from us. So he's just hiring managers who just wants to come for the sake of it, and there's no motivation or passion over there. And we keep on blaming Harry Kane, who doesn't show passion. Where is our board? What's our board doing? Why does Harry Kane needs to show passion to us? Why does he needs to play with us? And I don't blame Harry Kane. Let him play like that. He needs to let him go away from here. Why would even for sake of me, if I like the club and if I'm the player. If this club, look, he's not leaving this club after we are winning the Premier League, we won the Champions League or anything. He stayed till now. We didn't win trophies in Mauricio Pochettino. Did he want to go that time? He still backed with us. He still believed in us, and he still wanted to play for us after the loss against 2015 when we bottled it. 2016 we didn't win, and after this 4 years he doesn't win. And as a player, obviously there'll come a time where we'll be like, come on, I need to win something by now. I'm a great player. I can't be sitting over here thinking of a manager who's new. I'm being managed by Nuno, who's not good enough to finish in the top 10, who's not doesn't want to, and we're getting sacked. And why would someone be here? I'm really shocked that Son actually signed a contract with us. Yeah. That's a huge shock. I thought even he would actually move away from him. I should actually give him a big clap around to even be with us in these tough times, and players like Romero is even interested to come with us with what we're playing. And we can see the reason why no one wants to come to us is because Daniel Levy and this stupid board needs to leave. The managers is not going to make a difference. You even get Pep Guardiola, even if you get Alex Ferguson in prime, and you get anyone over here, this club is not going to improve until we see a happy news is when Daniel Levy sells this club. And I want that idiot to leave this franchise and this over here. And I can't bear it. I mean, supporting this team since 7 years and taking banterings from each and every fans who says that why do you support Spurs? And we still all over here. And who was here? The Spurs supporters are so much loyal than other teams because they win trophies, and we never win trophies. And there's a lot of fans which I know from India, from Singapore, who comes and says that I believe because I'm loyal to this club. And then we have a useless asshole up over there who doesn't give one damn shit about what do we care. And he needs to come and see our fan pages and see what we all do to care about this club. And this idiot never gives a shit. And we need to go and see 3-0, 3-0 losses, 3-0 losses, 1-0 losses, not winning anything, not spending anything. I'm just wishing one season where we actually go and spend. I'm not telling you go and spend 800 million and put this club in the bankrupt. That's not what we're trying to say. We're trying to at least give some players which you actually believe and actually value to this club, have some value to this club, and will improve, and not bring useless players into this club who will not improve. And and he just wants to frame a mind where we're saying that we're a top 6 team. He's just a good businessman who's trying to just move away from the problems and to try to prove that we're a big club by building a stadium, building all. I don't give a shit about your stadium. I want to win matches week in and week out. I don't care if that stadium is 20,000 capacity or 40,000 capacity, and I hate this where we keep on doing events and shows inside that. That is not a stadium. That's a multi-purpose avenue, and that's the whole truth. And Daniel Levy, man, please sell this club. Please sell this club. I can't take it anymore.
Absolutely spot
Bang on the money.
Aravind. Bang on the absolute money. I just want everyone to rewatch every single word that Aravind had just said. Absolutely spot on. A really great call.
And just end up and this thing. I agree with. I am actually a huge fan of Brian, and what he's trying to say is what everyone needs to follow. And people who keep on, I've seen a poll where 80% of the people say that I don't want the Saudi owners, or I want Daniel Levy. I was like, guys, then don't support this club. Please leave. What, you don't want us to win trophies? You don't want us to succeed forward? You don't want us to be in top 4? What do you want? The footballing world has changed, and heavy investments is only going to improve this football club. And it's a truth effect. See Manchester City, see what Newcastle is going to do, or see what Arsenal, even as much as Arsenal, we can rant on them, they spent the most money. And you can see the changes, how they're playing. Yep. They bought Ramsdale, 30 million, Tomiyasu, they bought in the players. And what can you expect from a manager if you don't bring players? If you bring the players, I can blame the manager, saying Nuno hasn't done it because we've got 6-7 good players, he's not doing it. We don't get anyone. We didn't win San Romero. He's still on loan. We didn't make him permanent. We only got a youngster. When we are only bringing prospects, where is the big players? Dusan Vlahovic, Dybala. Where are these players who are we signing? If we actually give a shit, right, these players will come. We don't have an ambition. We never direct them. They never come. And this is the factual truth. And we are all living this fantasy world, thinking that this club will improve, this club will improve, this club will improve. It's just going to go down, 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 and down and down until this idiot is. And I wish that happens, because Daniel Levy will sell the club then. He will sell if this club goes down and doesn't value it. And Joseph, man, you're such a prick. Get out from here.
All right, absolutely brilliant
Incredible
call from Aravind. Absolutely incredible. Thank you for coming on, Aravind. As always, really good call. So we shall speak to you soon.
Levy out. Come on, you Spurs.
Levy out, big time. Do you know what? Talking about what Aravind said, if I was to say to you, we're a top 6 club, and I was to say to you, someone like Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who's been here just over a year, is on the verge of having his 4th manager.
Yeah. In
over a year.
Yeah.
All right, it could be Mason, since the same manager twice, but 4 separate. It's just not on.
It's not on. It's not on. Let's get through some super chats. Blaze 420 says, unpopular opinion, give Nuno the year out. What does that even mean?
They'll see out the season, I think.
Carl Patrick Vineyard says, no fight, no passion, no motivation, and a clueless manager. Nuno out, Conté in. I mean, talking about Conté is just pretty much a pipe dream, in my opinion. And Brandon Troller says, Vlahovic with a hat-trick over in Fiorentina today. Thank you very much.
There you go. Just when,
Thank you very much for letting me know that.
There you go. Just when you can't get worse, you hear that a target that you could have got goes and bags in a hat-trick. Oh, the choice of Tottenham.
Let's get Will Stewart on THFC rants. Will, long time no speak, buddy. My friend. How are you?
I am doing good. I have been out of town for the last 10 days, and I might just pack my bags and go back.
Where you been, Will? Where you been?
I was at so for people who don't know, I work in the fishing tackle industry, and I was at a fishing tournament for the last 10 days, helping some international people participate in a international championship. So translating and stuff like that. That's why my face is all colored.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Yeah, but it was 16 hours a day out and about, so I didn't have time to jump on or do any shows. And I missed the West Ham United match, and I missed the Burnley match, but I did unfortunately catch the Manchester United match. And
well, you didn't miss much with the Burnley and West Ham game, I'll tell you that.
So that's what I hear. I did DVR them, so I will watch them later this week, unless you guys tell me I shouldn't. But
You shouldn't.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Go watch Paint Dry or something. Go watch Paint Dry.
no, but I mean, like, okay, so I've been kind of a Nuno fan for a while. But the problem I had with him yesterday was, why on earth did he take off Lucas Moura, and why on earth didn't he take off Giovanni Lo Celso? Waste of space that individual is. I don't know why people like him. I haven't liked him for a long time. Should he get the sack? I don't think it'll matter. In fact, I'm kind of being pushed to the Bob side of it now. Mason in, just so people can see that they'll do the exact same thing under Mason as well, because it's the squad that's at fault here, and before that, it's Daniel Levy and Paratici's fault for not improving that squad. A lot of people said we had a good transfer window. I rated it a 3 out of 10. I thought we have a horrible transfer window. Romero was the only good signing. People said I was negative, but now everybody's negative. Welcome to the team.
And look, it was, I mean, look, when you're trying to assess the transfer window, I remember you saying at the time, you know, we haven't replaced Gareth Bale's goals. Where are these goals going to come from? And all that kind of stuff. And, you know, how can we place Gareth Bale's goals? We can't even get a shot on target. Can't even get a shot on target at the moment.
We can't even place Harry Kane's goals. And I know that after he scored that one goal 2 weeks ago, everybody was like, he's back. He's back. Well, he's not. Because yesterday he was absolutely a horrible performance. One of the worst performances I've ever seen of Harry Kane in a Spurs shirt ever.
Yeah.
Passes were lazy in the box. Passes, you know, had one guy to beat to get the ball into Son and bounce it off his shin guards. I mean,
with do you think this is actually happening in the next 24 hours? Do you think Nuno is actually going to be sacked in the next 24 hours?
I don't know. I hope so. Now that I'm back, it'll give me something to do a show about. That's the only thing that I can get excited about nowadays from watching the game. Yeah, no. Do I think he'll get sacked? I don't know who would replace him. I mean, Ryan Mason till Christmas. I mean, it was. Oh my gosh, I can't go through that again. I already got blocked a bunch of times the last time he was our manager on Twitter. So.
Well, quick question for you, because obviously, as you said, we spoke a lot on your channel and my channel. You're a fan of Nuno. You actually, when you had it, you were quite happy. Where do you think this has actually gone wrong? Do you think it's been lack of investment, which we obviously know that's one major thing, but has it been because he hasn't been able to play the 3-5-2 that he got to play at Wolves? Has it been team selection? What do you reckon the real reason behind this failure is?
I think it's all of the above. I know it's a little bit of a tin hat conspiracy because there's not a lot of news on it, but I just pick up pieces of news and bits and pieces. But it seems like he was picked kind of on conditions. He was chosen on conditions that he had to do something. He had to play a way that wasn't his style or his way. And I think that there's got to be something going on here because, I mean, it's obviously that we're hurting that. You know, Harry Kane's kind of pulling a Christian Eriksen on us this year. I think Son's doing his best to help out. Lucas Moura is trying to help out. Højbjerg is trying to help out. I mean, like, what do we got to do to have them stop playing Ben Davies? I mean, do we need to do a Tartan Harding before you leave, Brian, or what? Like,
I could try. I'll try, but I'll do it to Levy rather than him, mate. I'll do it to Levy rather than him.
I mean, seriously, it's like, what do we have to do as fans? I mean, we know they know we exist. Maybe not me, but you guys. They know what we've been saying, and we've been saying the exact same thing for over a year now. Over a year. I mean, Ben, I hit my 15-month anniversary as a member on your channel or whatever. Like, I can't remember.
Congratulations! Thank you so much for the support, by the way.
Yeah, but it's like we've been saying these exact same things for 15 months.
Yeah, and we were saying them before 15 months ago as well.
Yeah. I mean, just even since the call-in shows and doing all that stuff, memberships and all that jazz, we've been saying this thing for a long time. And what do we have to do as fans to help them get a clue? I mean, you think there's ones that are supposed to be the experts, right? So why is some sunburnt guy from the United States been saying this exact same thing for almost a year now? And they can't figure it out. I don't understand. I don't.
It's ridiculous. It just shows this board is just so weak. So weak. I mean, they were saying that what the last point of call was the fans' reaction to taking Lucas Moura off last night.
We would boot him right out. I would boot him too.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, how could you be so weak in your decisions that moment is the moment they decided to sack Nuno?
Because it's like that's Nuno's fault. Look, I mean, he wanted a right winger. We didn't get a right winger. We needed a right winger. We've got Lucas Moura, who's maybe a right winger. I think he'd be a good off the bench right winger, but he's not somebody who can start. I don't think that Prioria would be that guy either. But there were people there. There were people available this summer.
Leon
Good
Bailey,
people.
like you mentioned.
Leon Bailey. Don't even get me started on Leon Bailey.
Buzzword for him. But do you know what as well? Thinking about it, and it's just come to me now with the reaction to that boo, the booing yesterday. And I spoke about this. Well, not just me. I can't remember who said it, but if you look at it, a lot of the stuff now is corporate. Now we're trying to devalue the club and make it. Now a lot of these corporate people wine and dine clients there and come to give them a good experience and come to do this. Now, all of a sudden, if you start hearing boo like that, leave you out, and it starts getting toxic, this is going to affect the corporate. This would be like, Daniel, what's going on here? I've come here to wine and dine my clients. I'm ploughing hundreds of thousands. So maybe the pressure is starting to get on sponsors. Maybe it is starting to get on the corporate. Because, like you said, it's a bit weird. I thought it may have been that straw that broke the camel's back. But now I think of it, it's not going to be, as we said with the NFL protest, it's about giving them, if they get a bad reputation or it affects their brand, as Will testify, the NFL will go crazy because it's all about image, it's all about franchise, it's all about the experience. And right now, what we witnessed yesterday was not, forget on the pitch, off the pitch, it was not a positive experience, was it? It was toxic. So who knows? It could be that. It could be that as well.
But I think what it was is Levy them chanting that chant. So because that performance caused the fans to start chanting Levy out, now he's going to take it out on Nuno, right?
Yeah.
I mean that's what it is.
He's trying to take the attention away from him at the end of the day. Yeah,
or he's just kind of a vindictive little weasel who wants to, get back at somebody. So instead, because he can't get back at the fans, he's going to get back at Nuno because it was that performance that caused the fans to chant that. I mean, booing and leaving and echoing. I mean, it was good. It was good to see. I mean, I don't want to see that, but I mean, it's good to see the fan base finally maybe starting to, get themselves out of the matrix that is Spurs and, enjoying Neo over there sitting next to you, Ben. And
we can't let Brian go back to Canada. He's doing too much good work here.
Yeah, listen, I'll be sure. But by the way, my wife is listening, and she probably isn't. But happy birthday, darling. Yeah, I might have to call her again and say, do you know what? I might be here a bit longer, but then she'll say, how's the Canadian winters? Enjoy sleeping in the snow? And I'll be like, no. So we'll see. But yeah, mate, listen, Will, the fact that I got to hear it, you can imagine, how long have I been coming on your show for now? About a year. And obviously, I'm kind
6
of
months,
very, I'm kind of very, very, what's it called? Unfiltered when I go on Will's show. And to actually have finally heard what I've been wanting to hear for ages in that ground, I was ecstatic. Finally.
Yeah, I mean, well, and the rent house is back open for business now, so I don't have any more trips lined up at least until January. So, yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have a fun time this week over there, and lots of.
I'm looking forward to watching that for sure. Looking forward to watching that. But Will, always a pleasure to speak to you, my friend, and I'm sure we'll speak soon.
Take it easy, guys. Enoch out, Levy out.
See you later, bro.
Paratici out.
Everyone out.
Just everyone
out.
apart from the fans.
Rashad Chowdhury with the super chat saying we need to boycott games, stop buying merchandise till we get Levy out. This club must be sold to a proper billionaire with football in heart. I mean, how many proper billionaires are there out there with football in heart?
See, that's the thing. You never know. You don't know what you don't know. Like, look at the one with West. I know it's not a full buyout, but West Ham seems to be now they are there. And now that
apparently
COVID
they're having a big investor now as well, West Ham.
Yep, they've got someone who apparently is at the same level of wealth as Lewis. So they look like they're coming in. And like I said, like Aravind said as well, we don't expect 400 million spent in the summer. We don't just go and buy the Juan Fernandez. Go and buy the right player for the right money. Don't haggle. And yeah, with regards to that super chat, there's talks of boycotting the West Ham game. There may be a few things coming up in the Conference League games. I can't confirm yet, but there may be a couple of things. But we when it comes to this movement, we've made a big impact now, and it's just got to keep going. And hopefully, the fans will see through the BS of sacking the manager, because we've been on this ride too many times, and everyone's starting to see it now. And like again, I can see it in the chat. Levy Out, you can see the tide has completely turned.
Yeah. And a bit of an update from the Premier League games today. Leeds won 2-1 away at Norwich. And currently 10 minutes in, West Ham are 1-0 up already against Aston Villa. So that is that. Let's bring on some more guests. Let's go to Ben Willis. How's it going, Ben?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Yeah, trying to get through it, going through the motions.
Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise, exactly. Another
Actually
day.
quite refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, you can say that again. When you saw all this news coming out about Nuno, what was running through your head?
I thought the same as many people. To be honest, Nuno might not be a great manager, but it's not his fault. I don't think it's his fault, to be honest. He's dealing with what he has. And to be honest, I think some of the players are not doing the best effort. And we have a lot of players that still should not be there. And it all comes down to the same cause. And I think Daniel Levy, I think it's coming to a point where he's going to feel a lot of pressure. At least I hope. I can only hope.
And if Nuno does get the sack in the next 24 hours, like everyone is saying, what's the answer? Where do we go?
I could only wish for an Antonio Conté.
Yeah, and I can wish for many things. You know what I mean? I can wish to wake up with £10 million in my bank account and give it to Tottenham, but ain't gonna happen.
There was I saw one of your episodes, and you actually made a good point where. What was it? I can't remember now. But to be honest, I don't think. Oh yeah, now I remember. Sorry. If we sack Nuno, how does that look to Paratici, who is the person who brought him in?
Yeah.
It kind of puts. I don't know, because Daniel Levy spoke highly of Paratici. Maybe Paratici found himself like trying to find a quick option because the transfer window was running. Well, I think we had days left, but it was such a long time since we signed the manager that it was kind of getting to a pressure point for them. But I don't know. I think you made a good point when you said that the last time. How does that look for Paratici? He's one of the best, whatever he is, sports director in the world. Apparently, and he's made a signing that is probably going to get sacked within the next, I don't know what games we've had, but it's just not gone well.
Do you think that Nuno's deserving of the sack with what he's shown up so far, 10 games in?
I mean, in any other club, he probably, you know what? It's a middle point. I think he could. Knowing Tottenham, he probably will get sacked. Knowing Daniel Levy, he probably will get sacked.
If you were Daniel Levy, would you sack him? Put it that way.
If I have his mentality, probably. But if I was the owner of the club, said in a way, I probably wouldn't. I because I'm trying to. But obviously I've got a biased opinion because I know that we have so many problems with players that we need to invest in the players, and obviously we need a good manager too. But it's a bit of everything, and I think we come to the same thing. The problem is Mr. Levy.
Yeah.
I really can't make a choice. I think it all comes down to him.
You know what we got with Paratici as well? With Paratici, he's getting the flack for obviously pointing Nuno. But then you know for a fact, if it wasn't for Paratici, we don't get Romero. So he's widened the net for the kind of talent we can get. But he's gone to a manager, which was let's say Paratici's second or third choice.
Do you think?
Go on, Ben.
Would you sack Nuno?
Would I sack Nuno? If
is it?
I never want to say that sentence. If I was that man, I'd jump off the roof. No. I've always said I can't be a hypocrite. I said I wouldn't sack him because the reason I wouldn't sack him is because it's not his fault. This is not his fault. But what is his fault are the results. What is his fault is
decision making.
Decision making that you can't have it. I mean,
his decisions are
defeats, but you cannot have 3 or 4 games where you don't have a shot on target. That is unacceptable, I would say, in any football division. But when you are Tottenham Hotspur, that is just totally and utterly unthought. I mean, I don't think we've ever had that, have we? Like 3 games in this short space of time with no shots on target in the second half.
Not that I can remember.
It's.
Do you think? But I don't think it's all Nuno's fault there. I think we've got a pretty centre forward that doesn't want to do the effort for us anymore. Also,
yeah.
At
the end of the day, this club is in a complete mess from top to bottom. It's getting toxic in the stadiums now with the fans. The fans are latching on to the whole Enoch and Levy out stuff now. I mean, this club is in a massive, massive, massive mess. And I have no idea how we get out of it. I really don't.
To be honest, we have to do it like a full rebuild. We have to get rid of the dead wood. The negativity players. We have so many players. I think Harry Kane is bringing negativity himself. I think when he loses, when we go down by the score, like when we concede, he's like, "Oh, this is normal for me. This is now a natural habitat for me. It's just completely normal for him." And to be honest, I think some negotiation they have to pull through. Like say, make your best performance, do one last effort for us, and then let us sell you. Because right now you're not worth anything to anybody. I think he has to do one last effort for us to sell. And thanks to his effort, we might get the investment we need to make a complete rebuild. Because I don't want that negativity falling on Lucas Moura, who's playing. I think Lucas Moura is being one of the best players to actually start something in the pitch. Christian Romero, I don't want the negativity to fall on him. Like, I've come to a team to try and win trophies, but we're losing every game. I want him to keep with the positivity, you know. We don't want that negativity around the players that still want the club to keep going. So I think that would be my decision for Kane to go. I think he has to go. I think it comes to a moment, like his head's not in it. No matter how, we all know he wanted to leave, so he doesn't want to be here anymore. He might say 100% focused, but he's not. You can see it's not.
You know what it is, Ben? If you look at it as well, when you say a full rebuild, the way I look at it now is, for me, it's more important to get the bad players out rather than bringing the good players in, because the players that are coming in are just going to get festered with this toxic, the poison and everything. But when you try to do a full rebuild, you've got to get rid of the deadwood.
Yeah,
even if we can get rid of the deadwood, we have a chairman that has 40 million for Winks, that has God knows what for Ali. So you're not going to get rid of them for the right value.
100 million for the pair.
But apparently, we have a few rumours that they're looking offers for them.
Mate, I would accept for Dele Alli right now. I'll take 10 million. I would accept. Get him out. Get him out because of his blooming attitude and the poison that he is blatantly part of. And then you look at it, but when you get these players out, it's not like everyone keeps going back to Coutinho and then what Liverpool did. That ain't going to happen with us. If we got, let's just say, by some miracle, we got 30 million for each. Let's just say 60 million. We ain't getting more than 40 million to spend. And probably, as I say, the countdown, 1 from the top and 5 from the bottom. We'll go buy 1 quality, and then we'll buy like 4 or 5 bargain basement because we have to buy for the future and potential. We can't even do a full rebuild with this guy because we won't get the prices he wants, and then he won't pay the prices we need to get the players that we need.
I think I didn't want Harry Kane to leave, for example, in the summer, and I think, to be honest, if we could have got 150 for him, that now, looking at it now, that would have been great for us, 150. And now I don't think we could sell him for 100. I think playing how he's playing, that's why I think there should be a negotiation with him. Like, you have to do your best effort so we can get some money out of you. Dele Alli, I think you're right. I think 10 million, maybe 15 if you're lucky for him, because he's been absolutely useless. And Harry Winks, he has to go. Ben Davies, oh my goodness, seriously, man, but I think also that's apart from Nuno. Like, you've got a star striker like Cristiano, you can't let him off. You can't make a mistake of not reaching the ball or not being cuddled next to him, so he can't hit a ball comfortably. You just know you can't. He could have headed that, and Ronaldo would have got there before him. You know how high he jumps. It's like there was no way that wasn't going to end up with a goal in that situation. That's annoying. And it goes back as well. Nuno's decisions are not right.
Yeah, completely agree. And also, when you look at the offer we did get for Kane in the summer, 75 million and add-ons to make it up to 100 million. I mean, that's looking like increasingly like a great offer now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. But this is the thing. This is what's happening with Dele Alli as well. His contract is running down. He is not in form. He is not in the England squad. Dele, I mean, obviously Kane is, and Kane will be. Their value's only going down. And Kane just needs to get another ankle injury and out for 6-7 weeks, and then that's another deal done for Christmas, or should it be January, or then people start thinking, oh my God, here you go. And then you've got to add in that Haaland's available for 75 million, and Mbappe is. So the two top strikers right now, or the hottest prospects age-wise and are above him, and they're going to go first. And that money, or even 100, even if they're given 100 cash, it is now looking like we should have taken it. It's probably, do you know what? One of my friends says to me, not taking the Kane deal or coming to a Kane deal could have been one of the worst bits of transfer business in our history under Levy, by not selling him.
Could be. I mean, I
don't know how Levy gets his pricing. Like, we sold Eriksen for like 20 million euros. He wants to sell Dele Alli for that kind of price.
Yep.
Where's the logic in that? Like, seriously.
It's hard to know. It's hard to know what to say or what to think about Spurs anymore. But Ben, great call, and thanks for coming on. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, Ben.
See you in a bit. Do we have anyone else? Yes, we do. We got Brandon Troller. Brandon, how's it going, man?
What's going on?
How you
Hey,
doing,
can you
Brandon?
guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Loving the hat, by the way. Talk to me about your thoughts regarding the Nuno situation right now.
It's hard to blame him. Besides the fact that he's running a system that doesn't work with the players we've got, and he has zero tactical nuance when it comes to substitutions or, telling players what you're actually supposed to do on the ball or off it. Besides all that, he seems like a great guy. And, I can't be had with it anymore. From day one, when I tip off of the very first day, I have been bored to death. I mean, Norwich City is the only team I could compare to Tottenham right now. Watching them play, I watched them this morning against Leeds while I was watching Vlahovic score a hat trick for Fiorentina on my phone. Norwich play very similar style to Tottenham, where it seems like they try to defend and fail, and then they just kind of kick the ball forward.
That has been our only plan. Get the ball to Romero, get the ball to Eric Dyer, and hit a long diagonal to Reguilon or to Emerson. You know what I mean?
Davies.
Or to Ben
Davies.
Davies.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
my God.
That seems like the only plan of action we have from kind of building out from the back. The only other way that we do look any sort of threatening is when we nick the ball in the opposition's half and we spring on them. That's the only tactics that we have.
And then look at our set piece situations. I remember, I don't know if the announcers are the same in Britain as they are in America, but they were bringing up this statistic. We're like the only Premier League team who hasn't, or at least one of the only Premier League teams who hasn't scored a goal from a set piece.
Yeah.
We
We're
were trying
planning-
to think of this on Wednesday, weren't we? We were watching Burnley. We were trying to think of the last free kick.
Yeah,
and all
we
those
were.
sort of
Yeah.
things.
And all we could think of was Christian Eriksen.
Oh my God! And don't get me started on Ben Davies. You guys remember Dennis Shirkin, right? The
Yeah.
guy we sold to Sunderland for what, like £10? Give Ben Davies to Sunderland. That's his level. I mean, keep Dennis Shirkin, who's got some promise ahead of him. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ludicrous that we are letting talented young players like him, like Noni Madueke, just walk off scot-free. I mean, if you have Nani in this side right now, and we actually sold Kane, we're able to reinvest that money, you're looking at potentially the most exciting young crop of players in the Premier League.
Yeah, spot on. And I mean, like with that Noni Madueke letting him go, I mean, they learned their lesson with Dennis Serkin, didn't they? Because at least they put in a buyback clause on that one.
Yeah, but to me, if you want to back up or leave third string left back, it seems obviously he didn't want to do that. He wanted to be playing week in, week out. Gun on him for that. But it's our whole youth setup is something I think is very under talked about in the Spurs fan base. Because shouldn't it be a little? Isn't that sort of how we got good in the first place? We bought a bunch of really great young players. You know, Dele Alli, used to be, and we had Kane come through.
Danny Rose, Carl Walker.
Yep.
You know, bought them when they were really young. You know,
So a whole lot of them. And
yeah.
what are we doing now? We're throwing Dane Scarlett out with Harry Winks and Steven Bergwijn on a Europa Conference League night, like once in a blue moon, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
get it.
there is Skip coming through now. Obviously, he's doing really well this season. Japhet Tanganga, also from the youth academy, he's obviously coming on quite well this season. But I definitely get your point. I mean,
I tell you what, I'd be playing Tanganga every week in, week out. I'd be playing him left back, center back. He can do a job throughout the back line, but just at least something positive for the future. You know, nurture his development. I think he has a decent amount of promise, you know? And I just can't see any other positive that we could potentially take away from this season other than if we were to go ahead and just throw Dane Scarlett out for 15, 20 minutes at the end of a Premier League game. Give Dylan Markaday a shout every once in a while. I mean, at least they show a little heart, I'd assume.
Exactly what I've been saying. Exactly, right. Who would you have as new manager? If it does happen like we think it's going to happen, who out there would you go for, realistically?
This might be a little bit of unpopular take, but I say Eddie Howe might be the right man for now. Not long term, but for right now. I think he'd be able to thrust a bit of enthusiasm into the squad. Not in Harry Kane. Harry Kane would look at Eddie Howe and start cracking up. He'd roll over. But that's not what I'm concerned about now. I am concerned about the fact that I haven't seen Heung-min Son smile in about a month now. That's sad. That's depressing to me.
Yep.
You know, I mean, Son is one of the reasons. I mean, I live in America. I could have picked any team in the world, but when I first started watching football, like 10, 15 years ago, I would look at the way that Spurs would play. And, you know, they were sort of like a dark horse. They were exciting. It seemed like they were always smiling. You know, at least there was a positive mentality going on the pitch that you could see. I haven't seen that in almost 2 years, really. I mean, it's just I don't know why I wake up at 6 a.m. to go watch these games every morning anymore. It's craziness.
See, this is the thing again. When Brandon says things like that, obviously me living in Canada with 5 hours behind you, so It's not even like I've given the summary of what he's done just like since we sacked Jose about why I cannot stand this parasite. It's people like Brandon and people in America that get up and sometimes they're 5 hours, 3 hours behind me, like on the West Coast. So it's like when I get up for 7 a.m., it's 4 a.m. There's fans around the world that are going to bed at 2 a.m. There's fans getting up at 3 a.m. to watch matches. And not only that, there's people that I've seen on social media, on streams like this, that have supported Spurs since like your grandpa's age, my parents' age, and they're saying I can't watch Tottenham anymore because of what this guy is doing to our club. And this is what puts petrol on my fire. Because forget what he's doing on the pitch. He talks about the international fans and how the Super League, yet he's willing to allow this to happen to people like Brandon and people across the world that have to get up at stupid o'clock to pay their dedication to their squad, their team, give everything they can, give up their weekends, get up at silly o'clock, go to bed, all because of the love of this club, where there is someone there that does soddle with it.
Yeah.
Soddle. And this is when Brandon says it, that's just sorry, Brandon, I'm sticking up for you. I ain't having a go. Literally, this is what really, this is like, there was someone on the Irish Hotspur show called William Kelly who said, I've supported Spurs for 50 years and I can't do it anymore. I can't come on streams, it's too, I can't do this, I can't. And there's a few people as well with their mental health. And this is accepted? This is what people here and around the world are, but don't worry, we've got a stadium, or we got this, we got that. We can have 4 managers in 2 years, and it's acceptable. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. It really is. Brandon, who's coming in next? Ryan Mason?
Probably Ryan Mason, which I think is going to do bang all. It's a dire situation, really. If I'm a manager, right, with any sort of respect for myself, why would I take a step into Daniel Levy's office? Because you know he's not going to fight for you. You know he's not going to back you when the time is needed. It's being shown right now after literally 10 matches. And then he's not going to give you the transfer funds to allow you to at least express yourself. I mean, every manager's got their own heartbeat, their own style of play. You can't just... I can't think of any decent manager who could take this crop of players and think, yeah, Eric Dyer's the man I need. Harry Winks is the man I need in midfield. And Daniel Levy going out here and asking for $40 million from Harry Winks. He's got to be high on crack. He's smoking his ass off. I don't understand. I'd take $5 million for him. 40? Oh God, it's insanity. It's they're living in Looney Tunes. LeBron James should have called them up for Space Jam 2 because they would have been great in that. It's nonsense, absolute nonsense. So look, whoever we bring in, I'm sure it'll be at least aesthetically a step up from Nuno. But this has been, everyone on this channel has been saying this time and time again over the past, I don't know, half a year at least. None of these problems are ever going to truly go away until Levy's gone. It's just the simple truth of it. And, we're not going to get Poch back right now unless PSG fire him. I
would have wanted back, Brandon. Under Levy, I would have wanted back. As soon as Levy goes, I'll take Poch back in a heartbeat, in an absolute second. But as long as he's there, I don't
probably
know
be retired by then.
Yeah.
Or managing the Argentinian national team. But no, I genuinely believe that whether it be Eddie Howe, Fonseca, we're not getting Conté, so I don't know why anyone even mentions why am I mentioning his name? I mean, Aston Villa just scored. That's nice for us, I guess.
Oh, is it 1-1? Who scored?
Yeah, I have to say 1 second. There's loads in the chat now. I don't know if it's official because it's literally Nuno sacked, Nuno sacked, Nuno sacked. I don't know if anything's broke. I don't know. I'm just saying this is in the chat.
It's the
I don't
same
know.
guy.
No, but I've seen it for a few other comments, literally a couple of minutes before then. So I don't know if anything has broken.
Yeah, they sacked him.
Is it sacked? Is it official?
Yeah. I just went on Twitter. He's sacked.
1 second. Here we go. Breaking news.
Days.
Let's have a look. Is it?
Oh my days, Brandon, how do you feel? You're on air the minute he gets sacked.
Literally,
Where? I don't see it on the Spurs
it's
uh,
Twitter.
it's not Skies yet, but I think this might be. I think it's about to happen.
yeah, and Conte is saying he's not even going to come close to the job.
What a shock! What a
Yeah,
shock! I'm absolutely.
Where's
blown
everyone
over
seeing
by
this? Because
that.
I don't see it.
It's not on the official accounts, but I just pulled up Nuno sacked, typed it into Google, and there's a bunch of Hotspur fan accounts saying breaking news.
I think it's
decided
literally
to sack him.
I think we're going to find out in the next 10-15 minutes.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
If I had to pick a favorite, I'd go Graham Potter, but I don't think that's happening. Why would he leave Brighton for us right now?
This is a circus. This club is an absolute circus.
Have we done a Martinho again? We've let the fans know before. We've let Nuno know.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
Betfair have made Graham Potter the favourite to be the next Spurs manager, even though he was the one that rejected Spurs in the summer because he didn't want his reputation to be ruined by Daniel Levy.
And here we go. So remember, we started with Poch last night. We've had the Portuguese ones. I can't remember. What's his name? The long one, not Fonseca. The other one you've been saying, the Portuguese one,
Conceição.
Yeah, I'm going to struggle with that name. And we've had Mason, and now all of a sudden Graham Potter. Oh, do you know what? We are anyone that doesn't see us as a disgrace, pathetic, embarrassing.
And you know
Big
what?
Sam in.
You know
Big
what?
Sam in.
You know what? Newcastle are looking for a manager now. They're going to join Newcastle over us. Any manager we want.
Jesus.
And that's the facts. That's the facts because they know they're going to get an endless pit at Newcastle. What are they going to get at Tottenham? £10 to spend.
No, £10 for bus fare. Figure out the
That's
rest
it.
on your own.
That's it. And they'll have to take the tube. They'll have to take the London transport over from the airport as well.
Yeah, they'll get charged if they ever give away their manager's jacket.
Ridiculous. That from Brad Friedel was the most
my God.
ridiculous thing I've seen. Did you see that, Brian?
I saw it, but not only that, did you hear the Luka Modric story as well?
No, what's the Luka Modric story?
Oh, the Luka Modric story is even worse. So when Luka Modric moved from Dynamo Zagreb or whichever, I think it was Dynamo Zagreb, and it's the story's on there. Dynamo Zagreb wanted 2 Tottenham Hotspur shirts with Modric's name and number on the back. So they said, yeah. Daniel Levy took it out of the transfer fee.
Shut up.
Mate,
What did he take?
it.
£100 out of the transfer
Check it.
fee.
Well, I don't know what the shirts, but he took. So I think the fee was 26 or whatever million. He took the 2 shirts out, and it's official. You can even go Modric side. It's on everywhere.
I believe you.
This is what this man is like.
Over in America, I don't know if you guys had this, but I wanted to watch the preseason matches. Couldn't find them anywhere. So there was one website you had to pay like $25 to watch a preseason match, and it didn't even work. Thing crashed.
Oh, the Spurs
was
website.
that the
Yeah,
one?
yeah, we
Yeah,
had the same thing. We had the same thing.
Just go bathroom. I'll be back in 1
We
second.
had exactly the same thing. And I mean,
West Ham just scored again.
really, 2-1.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Great stuff. But look, it does seem like this situation is coming to a head now. And how mad is it, right, that the managerial search took longer than Nuno's actual tenure? How mad is that?
It's insanity. we're living in a loony town. There's no part of this that has any sort of logic you can track. Like, you can't take a through line and say, yes, there was a plan that we made once we by some miracle reached that Champions League final. That was the time that we had to strike. We had to create a concerted plan. Like, okay, our squad's getting older. Our manager came out and said, Poch said, if we had won that game, I would not be manager anymore. I would have moved on. He obviously didn't have his heart in it. Maybe it would have been best for them if they were to part ways, maybe it would have been best to part ways then and there. It was a great run, Poch. You deserve better than us. Go find it. Yeah. Instead, we dilly-dally with them all summer. We bring in 2 guys who I guess Poch wanted. Who knows if that was what he actually wanted, if he really wanted to bring in Ndombele and Lo Celso, because in hindsight, bringing them both in the same window makes about as much sense as bringing in Harry Kane. Letting Harry Kane stay against his wishes. I mean, can you make it make sense?
No, I can't. I can't. But look, Brandon, we have to move on. But a great call once again. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for all the support you give us as well. So we'll see you very soon. I'm sure of it.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Cheers, man. Great call, Brandon.
Yeah.
Really a good laugh, Brandon is. And let's bring on the Irish Hotspur. Come on. David.
What's up, David?
What's up, man? I mean, trying to make sense of all this circus that is going around in our beloved football club. I mean, talk to me. What are your thoughts when first heard the news about Nuno? I mean, nothing's official yet, but it looks like it is going that way.
Yeah, look, I think our roads are leading to it. I think I expect a club statement. So, in the regional this evening and tomorrow morning, I'd say on the situation. But look, ultimately, in the bigger picture, Nuno's a victim. He's another victim. Look, I wanted to give the guy a chance, but after yesterday's game, it was kind of clear to me it's just not working out. I'm not sure whether you were actually on this show, Brian, or not, but Kaniki answered me where I touched on Hugo Lloris's comments after the West Ham game.
Yes, I was on it with you.
When he was talking about players giving up, the warning signs were kind of already there when I heard them. Coupled with Højbjerg's interview yesterday that he put out, it's kind of where he said, he can't really say too much more, but, that sort of stuff. It just doesn't sound right. Looking at the way we played yesterday, look, Lucas and Son, they're playing in and around Harry Kane. You're asking Lo Celso to also play in the same spot. He picked Ben Davies. I'll be honest, I didn't want to say it because it's a pre-match pump-up. My job is to get people pumped up for the game. But honestly, when I seen it, I thought if this doesn't go well, it could lead to his job once he picked Ben Davies yesterday. Look, he got outsmarted by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer yesterday. He got out-tacticked. You know what I mean? And we just have no plan going forward. There is no attacking plan going forward. Sometimes you need to be able to create wit, yesterday in game management, Maguire and Shaw with a yellow card inside the first half. Get Lucas and attack them. Don't take them off. Get them to attack them. They're clumsy enough to make that mistake. Look, right now, it's the right thing to do for Tottenham Hotspur, I do believe, and it kills me saying this because you know me, lads. I want to give everyone that comes here a fair crack at it with a fair chance. But look, right now, it's the best thing to do because we don't have a transfer. We're not in the middle of a transfer window. We can't put it right. We can't just, even obviously Levy's not going to do it or Enoch's not going to do it. But, in January, say if we're in the middle of a transfer window right now, you could throw money at the problem. You can't do that right now. So right now for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, I think it's the right decision. But overall, he's just another victim.
Yeah, I just want to say that Nuno has not been sacked yet. He hasn't been sacked yet. People in the comments are saying, a few different opinions. Nothing's official. He hasn't been sacked yet, but it does seem, though, it is going that way. I mean, David, tell me, there's no other option but Ryan Mason, is there? Who else is going to come here?
Look, ultimately, they just haven't learned from their lessons, have they? Look, they sacked Jose Mourinho with a consider they're going to approach Potter. None of them are going to want to come here. None of them will not want to come here. Look, I've said this many a times. We can say all these names and make them sound idealistic. We've done it with Jose Mourinho, we're saying Nagelsmann and everything else. But put yourself in these managers' shoes. If you're Conté, you're not coming to Tottenham Hotspur unless you're guaranteed at least 150 million. Bring in your own players to implement your philosophy, your style, and implement yourself on that dressing room. So he's not coming. I'll be very surprised if he does. You could go down the route of a Graham Potter, a Ten Hag. Look, again, I'll be surprised if they come to Tottenham because, again, they're going to want to clear out players and do what they want to do, and they're not going to be allowed to do it. Right now, we have a massive problem with player power in the dressing room. I believe all the players hold the power. If they're not feeling it, the manager will ultimately carry the can. We've seen that. It's a repetitive cycle, but we all know where all roads lead back to. It's to the man at the very top. It's to the boys at the very top at board level that are supposedly making these decisions in the best interest of the club. And ultimately, what's led to this point now is just years of neglect and sheer mismanagement of the football club.
Yeah, 100%.
Bang on the money, David. Like I said, you mentioned the Lloris comments. I thought the Lucas Moura substitute was very, very telling, and you were doing your watch log and you got to hear it. But like you said, the Højbjerg, when I got back last night and I heard the Højbjerg interview on Match of the Day, that spoke volumes. That spoke. Whereas Lloris kind of danced around it, Højbjerg just put a battering ram through it and said, "Yep, something's gone on. I'm not going to say much." And it's just like you said, the correct terminology is that Nuno's just another victim, isn't he?
He is. Look, he's another victim on the list. Look, Jose, look, as much as people hate him, Jose was not a victim. He wasn't given the proper tools to do the job. Pochettino was ultimately fired because it was cheaper to get rid of him and bring someone else in than give the rebuild and that. But look, ultimately, Pochettino seen this coming. Pochettino told us in his press conferences it's going to be a long, hard, painful rebuild. You know, he didn't need to say that if the cash was there. You know, if the cash was there to be able to do what he needed to do, to be able to rotate the squad, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. So the problems have all stemmed from there. You know, and it's been a snowball effect since. It's not good enough, you know, at this football club. Like, we're a football club that, look, although we may not have always been challenging at the top, you know, for the title, we've always picked up a couple of trophies every decade. That's gone. Look, you know, when I was going to football as a kid, ultimately, I used to be excited. I used to get up. You know, I couldn't wait to go. You know, I used to watch football being played the right way. I used to see proper men out there trying to earn a living, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And now it's just soulless, lads. There's no joy on it. You know what I mean? There's no banter in it anymore. It's completely gone. This isn't what the beautiful game is about. This isn't why we got into supporting Tottenham Hotspur, you know? It's
100%.
completely gone, and I'm fed up. Look, all I can say is now is the time for fans to come together. It's not the time to start bickering amongst each other, calling people this or calling people that, you know? Now is the time to come together, because I said it and I'll always say it. The best things about this football club is the fans. No matter sun, rain, shine, or whatever it may be, hailstorm, whatever other weather you want to throw in there, tornadoes in Brian's case, you know, hurricanes and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. Fans will always turn out for this club. So we need to come together now. We are the best part about this club. Let's not drive anyone else away from the club that hasn't already been driven away. Look, I get messages, you know, on the regular now of people just saying they can't do it anymore. You know, thanks very much for everything you've done on the channel and whatever else, but we can't stick through it anymore. We need to take a break. When it comes to that point, you know, you really see how rotten things are. You know, it's really affecting people. You know, people that in this club at least pick up a couple of trophies every decade. Seen some wonderful players grace that turf at that magnificent White Hart Lane we had, you know. Compared to what they're watching now, it's completely soulless. It's a car wreck right now.
Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Every single word. I mean, it's really, really hard to take where we are as a football club right now. I mean, the club that I grew up watching is long, long gone, I'm afraid. It's long, long gone. And it's just, it breaks my heart. It really does. And I don't know where to turn from here. I know what's going to happen now. We're going to get Mason in probably till around Christmas time. That's what's going to happen. And we'll probably... Who knows where we'll be in the league around Christmas time? 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th, something like that.
2 cups.
Out the cups, you know what I mean? We're not even... Are we even going to go through in the Conference League this season, David? We're in the brink of that.
You roll out the big dogs, we're on the brink of that. We should never be on the brink of it. You know what I mean? We should never, ever be on the brink of barely scraping the Europa Conference League. It's absolutely shocking. But look, ultimately, you know, the players do have to take a lot of responsibility for this. Look, we can't forget them. They are a part of this picture as well. You have the management and everything else. But these players, they're the ones that are representing every fan's dream. You know what I mean? Whether they like it or not, they are. And the least you expect is for them to turn out. You know what I mean? At least put in a performance. They also have to take accountability. Because, look, even if a lot of them weren't here under Pochettino, the majority of them were here, bar the ones we signed this summer, were here under Jose Mourinho, Ryan Mason, and Nuno now as well. It hasn't been good enough either. So ultimately, you know, they need to take a long, hard look at themselves as well. They cannot escape a bit of criticism. Because I'll be honest with you, look, you know, people can say it's not the players' fault and it all stems back to Levy. Yes, it does. But at the end of the day, they're paid to do a job. You know, they still should be able to perform no matter what. And at least, you know, get out there and do it for the fans. The kids that show up there with signs, you know, asking for their jerseys. The fans that turn up, you know, in full voice. The guys that spend, you know, a couple of 100,000, you know, to get over to a game. You guys, you know, who travel week in, week out, the length and breadth of the country before all this shit kicked in. You know what I mean? It's not good enough from them, and they have to realize they're the people they're representing as well, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Big yourself up, David, as always, and we shall speak to you soon.
See you
See
later,
you
David.
very
Roll
soon.
up.
See you soon,
Look,
Dave.
guys, Tottenham will be great again.
Wait. Oh, okay. He said Tottenham will be great again. Just stick through it. That's what he said. So big up, David.
Been sticking through it for a long time.
Yeah, tell me about it. My whole life. My whole life. Is there anyone else? All right, that concludes the show, people. Another long stream for you guys. So thank you very much for joining us. The news at the moment is that Nuno is on the brink of being sacked. And the news is, or the rumours are, that Ryan Mason will be interim manager. God knows how long for, seeing as it took 75 days to hire Nuno. Has he even been in the job for 75 days?
I think yes, it's 4 months, isn't it?
Okay, fine.
Yeah, he has been. But I think it works out, basically, he's been twice as long as the manager search took.
Right.
Which still ain't great, is it?
No, it's not. But anyway, that is the stream. Brian, thanks for coming on today. We'll be
Absolute
seeing
pleasure.
a lot more of you over the next week, seeing as Sim is on holiday. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching today. I want to know your thoughts on this circus that is Tottenham Hotspur in the comments section below. Tell me if you think Nuno deserved the sack, and tell me who you want in as a realistic option as next manager in the comments section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
Levy out!